little dance.
All right, here we go. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy with Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we are live on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
Ready to get up bright and early and get at them. We're not alone.
No.
We have a guest.
We do.
Fresh off of episode 666 of his own podcast.
Yes.
The Mundane Festival. It is our homie, comedian, actor, theater of stage and theater, Chris Lamberth. What's up, man?
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you all having me. Great to be back on the show.
Oh, man, no problem, dude. You know, first thing I got to say, coming off of 666, I was listening to it this morning. I do rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And, you know, we will be praying over you. Let me speak some tongues real quick.
You got
you need some of that real quick. You got to get that devil spirit up out of you.
What oil?
Yeah. So, what's up, man? How you been?
Oh, man, I've been doing good. Just working, TPS reports by day. Since now the illusion that actors don't make a lot of money. I don't know what people thought. I mean, if more people listen to my podcast, they know that they don't make a lot of money. Everybody's not on the top 1%.
Nope.
And working a day job and doing stand-up and auditioning for the strike-approved interim agreement projects. Dating.
What is that, Chris? What is that process like? Like, how do you know which ones are approved and what's not? Like, Is there like something you have to do in the background, or do they just tell you on like your agent finds out? Like, how do you know that?
It's through my management, the manager. If it's approved and it follows the guidelines, and So because there's one that I auditioned for, like a big time movie with a super famous person. I had an audition for that like right before the strike, and it was would have been huge for me. And they liked my audition, and when they say they want to check your availability, they say check your avails, and I got that from this big movie. And so with the strike happening, it's not, everything's kind of in limbo until hopefully things come back in the fall. So that would be really huge. That would be big. That would mean like just bills would get paid early and on time. I think the illest shit anybody ever said about just being an actor was Janelle James said it long before she blew up. She said, I like every time I see one of my friends on TV, I know that they spent that check 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's like because you like, oh, I got a lick, so I'm paying some bills and might have a little something for myself, but stuff.
And it takes a while for what people see on TV to get to them. So like you filmed that shit, like you auditioned, got cast, filmed that shit, then waited for it to come out because normally they won't even fucking let you talk about the shit. And then once it's out in the world, that could be 6 months. That could be a year. That could be a long ass time since you filmed that shit. And that money gone, bro. Like that. Like anytime, people were kind of like making fun of Billy Porter, and I think he either took down his post or something. But he had a post about as a SAG actor that people know, that people see living fabulous, showing up at these red carpet events, and you just associate him with, oh, he must be doing great because I see him all the time. He was like, man, I gotta sell my fucking house. Like, these checks stopped coming in, the bills didn't. Like, so I gotta dip. And people were like picking on him, and I'm like, y'all don't even understand what this fucking fight is about then.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fact. I was kind of shocked at seeing him put that out there, because I would assume that he was established, not that he was like a 1%er, but just somebody that was getting that bread like that for somebody that's been famous for a long time and been doing stage and screen. I think more recently being involved in the screen for him, but like, yeah, it's surprising, but it's not, it's a part of the business. And I think like maybe less than 10 years ago, prior to COVID, there was a rumblings in the comedy community about how some people don't have day jobs and they're able to. Being in the performing arts is a kind of you're kind of in a privileged class in a lot of ways. If your family has money, you're able to pursue without really worrying about trying to sustain yourself. Because if your parents are paying your rent, then yeah, you could do shows where you get paid in beer tickets or drink tickets, or whatever. So it's just like, man, it just depends. And that was a thing that people were complaining about. I was like, yeah, well, that's what people do if they can. I mean,
it's also it's one of the reasons that the industry is so nepotistic. Because a lot of times people look at nepotism strictly on especially once you throw in race and stuff, but a lot of the nepotism stuff is if your family was successful, your relative has connections, you aspire to do something in that same field, and they can undergird you with some resources so that when you read about these people and you be like, well, where did this Depp girl come from that's in this movie or in the show with The Weeknd, and you're like, oh, that's Johnny Depp's daughter, and it's like, damn, oh, Gwyneth Paltrow is this person. This dude MGM, his grandfather is the fucking MG and MGM, or what, you see it all the time, and a lot of times it's just because those people were able to be artists when they made nothing because they had family and connections that helped them. And yeah, there's some jealousy that comes in there, but I'll tell you this much, right now the niggas that had the side gigs, it's kind of working out, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in any type of facetious way. I stand with everyone in the union, but the people that had those day jobs right now are like, okay, so buckle down, it's day job time. I gotta this shit might go over 100 days of a strike, might not get paid for a while, but I still got the TPS report checks coming in. And the people that was only making money off of just pure art, man, they struggling right now because you can't write shit, you can't act in shit, you can't fucking promote shit. This shit is wild right now. Karen, you gonna say something?
And also, when we were talking about Billy Porter, the thing about him, he has been very, very, very open about his career. And he has talked about in the past about how he being a black gay man, how a lot of times he would be overlooked for roles. He would audition and they would consistently tell him he's too gay, too flamboyant, too this, too that. And I remember when he got Pose, he talked about how that literally just changed his career. And like Chris said, people have an illusion of what being known and famous are two different. Being known, famous, and making money are two different things. You could be known and be quote unquote considered famous to be broke. And a lot of people don't understand that. Ask people on YouTube who ain't making no money. Ask people on TikTok that ain't making no money. People that people recognize in public, and they be like, oh, you work here? Yeah, dog, because that shit don't pay bills. But it's amazing how the general public has a disconnect between them and us working bi-weekly, getting a bi-weekly paycheck, just barely making it. Like that shit is the same. When Outkast was rapping, he was like, we neck to neck. Like, that's real. Like, if I don't make no beats, you don't move your feet, I don't get paid. Yep. And people don't see it like they make a big disconnect just because they quote unquote, they see you, they see your face. People make these assumptions, and the assumptions are not true because they really don't understand how the industry is ran.
Now, Chris, do you know what so when your management's like, you can audition for this part because they agreed to the the new requirements, do you know what the new requirements are that they're agreeing to, or no?
Not that I haven't read up on the latest, but it'll be in the breakdowns when you get the script, your sides and whatnot, and the whatever the new strike agreement is, because it changes on the daily, and I really don't have no time to read.
Yeah, it's interesting too because I'm also seeing like Viola Davis shut down a production because she exited it, even though they had agreed to those new agreements, because she was like, I think looking at the bigger picture, like, well, if the studios can kind of float by, basically agreeing to just certain movies but not others, it'll prolong the strike. So she just like completely flipped the fucking table over. But also I was thinking, you know, as a friend to Chris Lamberth and so many other people, I was thinking, so what happens to a Chris Lamberth when he's cast in a Viola Davis movie that she agreed to, and then like she just pulls out at the last minute? Like I know on the outside it's like, yeah, good for you, but on the inside I wonder if niggas is like, yo man, what the fuck?
Well, it's I mean, you would be upset because you're like, I'm in a project with Viola Davis, and for it to now come to end, like, it's like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, you get to work with like an icon,
right?
And you're just kind of blown. But that's life. I mean, I was lucky to be in that Broadway play for it to come back after COVID, like after hitting a career milestone with that show. Regardless how big the part was, it was like that thing won 5 Tonys, and it's like, that's like the apex of theater, to be involved in something like that, and it puts you at a different level, because after that there were different auditions I was going on. I saw a show that I will not name where I had a big audition in front of one of my, if you listen to my podcast and you've heard me on the Black Guy Who Tips, a multi-hyphenate artist, her TV show, I had an audition to be in scenes with her, and it was for a person that was my type and my size, all that stuff. And I saw the show, and it was a tiny person of color doing the part, and I was sick. But at the same time, it's like, that's the type of people you're going against, the best of the best. At one level, I was just doing these small parts, and then now the competition rises, and you get into these higher echelons. And when you see a part that you audition for and Little Rel gets it, it's like, well, you're gonna give that to Little Rel,
right? It's also interesting too, because like Hollywood's fat is not the world's fat. And also they don't really care. Like, that's the one place where they don't, like, unless the role is like the whale, where it's like, well, we gotta get, like, it's impossible to not have a fat person do this role. They'll change. Like, I say this as a comic book fan. So like in comic books, there's certain characters has always been fat, and like that's just the canon, right? But then when you watch every depiction of them on screen, like say Amanda Waller, none of these motherfuckers ever gonna be fat. Like, they never gonna get, not even Hollywood fat. Like,
it's rare that you get animation to make
on CW, they had a woman that was literally like she like a runway model. I was like, what? Why?
Yes. Like,
so what I think though, what it makes me think about, like Chris alluded to, is all the people that audition and like, finally, I'm a fat black actress. I don't get these fucking parts. Everything's about, the white man's version of being fuckable or some shit. And here's this powerful, great, rich character of this black woman that's gonna da-da-da. And they're like, oh, we gave it to Thandie Newton. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That must suck.
It's not even about me being a big guy or fat or whatever. It was just like, and not even Little Rel. I was actually talking to 2 different projects, but the Little Rel movie, that movie was the joint that he did with Adam Devine and Pierce Brosnan. Like, I auditioned for that like 2 or 3 years ago, and they gave it to Little Rel, and I was like, why didn't you just give it to Little Rel? Why even waste my time auditioning for this? And then you look at Little Rel in the part, it's like, okay, this guy is famous. Why is he doing it? I mean, that would be like a good look, more of a look for me. But this other project was like, we want a big, tall guy, and then
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you look at the show and it's like, oh shit, this guy. And my manager's like, they went with a famous guy, Chris. Like, you got, and it's
like, I'm not, like, I wasn't talking about the Lil Rel one. I was talking more about the idea of a part that when you audition for it, it is like it's written for you, and then you see who gets it, and you're like, The fuck? Like y'all didn't mean that shit.
Yeah. And you never know. And there's some things you have no control over. Even the stuff that I've gotten, you don't really have. Only thing you have control over is the performance. And I remember going in for to audition for a tour of a black show, and they ended up giving it to somebody that had understudied the play when it was on Broadway. So it was like I didn't have, and they were like, "Oh, it came really close. It came really close," but we felt like we had to give it to this guy who was already working on the play before. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, like that makes sense. They, right. And it's one of those things where I know it could be frustrating and stuff, but also I realize when it comes to actors and performing and things, you never know what somebody is willing to try out for. Like Chris said, even things that you would think is underneath them, for some of them, they're like, I just want a job. Like you, like I just want a job. For some of them, they have the same thing because we were
they could be like Billy Porter. Like we looking at Lil Rel like, nigga, you made it, and he's somewhere like, man, the rent coming in on the 5th, and I need to do X amount of projects before the 5th.
Yeah, and also it's one of those days too where not only do they got bills to pay, for a lot of them, they don't ever know when their quote unquote career is going to end, because Hollywood is kind of weird with their phase people out, particularly women, because I know a lot of people gave Scarlett Johansson a hard time. But to an extent, I understood, because I was like, hey, she was like, I don't know, I'm fuckable Scarlett Jo right now, but the second they realize I'm a fucking mom or whatever, I won't have no job no more.
Yeah,
so she was taking all of the positions.
She was operating
everything.
Right.
She was operating with a scarcity mindset, and people, get mad about it. And my thing is like, but she's right. It is a scarcity mindset. Females being attractive in Hollywood is looked at like a fucking commodity. Like,
yes.
And these fucking powerful 70-year-old white men that date 20-year-old white women,
right?
It's their shit is so skewed that they're like, who would want to fuck a 40-year-old Scarlett Johansson? Ew. Let's cast a next young woman. And it's like, I can see why in her mind she had a timetable of like, I need to ascend to a certain level before I get to a certain age, or else I have to stop. I'm gonna stop working because they're not gonna call me. And one of the things people forgot about that role was she was, I think, playing a trans character. She ended up not playing it, but if I'm not mistaken, she was a producer on that. And so I think they didn't understand the game that was afoot, which is, I need to get into production. I need to get into directing. I need to make a transition out of just being a hot actress, because these motherfuckers not finna let me do that for my whole career.
Right.
It's a reason you see even some of the best actresses, they have these lulls in their career where it's like fuckable, turn 30, they don't work, and then they pop back up at like 50 as a love interest to a 70-year-old. And it's like, what happened to Dame Judi Dench? And it's like, well, we didn't start casting her again until it was like, oh, isn't she fuckable for a 50-year-old? I'd fuck her at 50. Like, it's such a superficial industry in that way. So Chris, what about stand-up though? Because I know without, I'm sure without as much acting work out there, it's like, can you get back, into the stand-up thing? I know you never really stopped, but are you going out more now or touring, all that stuff?
Well, right now I'm talking to you all from a hotel at the Borgata in Atlantic City.
Let's go.
And I get to do this gig maybe a couple times a year. And I think it's the first time back where you're here for about a week. So I'm doing like 5 shows. And then I'm going to be in Kenosha, Wisconsin this weekend. That was at the 18th and the 19th. And so if you got any of your fans are in Wisconsin, come on out. One of my friends sent me a black guy getting manhandled by the police at an Applebee's in Kenosha. So I know I know you need a good time. So
and that means there's black people out there.
Right, because my friend sent it to me. I was like, oh shit, because when I think about Kenosha, I think about that 70s show. And I was like, oh, there's black people. I was thinking,
that's funny. There's something so funny about someone sending you a video of the police fucking with a black person and being like, okay, I didn't know niggas was out there. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay. Because it was one of my homies, comedian homies. I was like, oh shit. because I was thinking like, oh, let's see what can you do in Kenosha. Like the minor league team is done, so I was like, there's lighthouses. I'd like to do that. Then I saw that video where you think you could just walk to a lighthouse. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll.
You know, but I like that kind of stuff because I'm like, cool. That means y'all got enough black people to harass. So, you know, because like sometimes if your city don't have, if the police not fucking with no black people, I'm like, oh, y'all don't have no black people at all. So
Yeah.
maybe some people will show up. And plus, I mean, for you, it's huge because from my understanding, the Green Bay Packers have a black quarterback now, right?
Do they? They have a black kid? I didn't know that.
In the dude under Aaron Rodgers, wasn't he black, or am I tripping?
That's not Trey. Is that Trey Lance? I don't know, but I think you're right. I think you're right.
I thought you normally would have run up on this.
Well, I gotta get this. I got rid of cable, so I got to get this NFL Sunday ticket because there's more black quarterbacks now. And they did a black guy 6 times in Jordan Love. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought his name was. Yeah. I thought he was black, right?
He is black, yeah. So
black.
All right.
So I mean, that's a big deal for you, man. You know, like maybe you get to see a preseason something. I don't know.
We get to see my Red Zone since they fucking decided to put it back on the cable box.
Yeah. Jordan Love, black. Maybe you do some material about that. You know, the blacks out there they probably been looking forward to it.
I hope so. It'll be fun. It'll be fun for me to get to do the road like that and do a long set because I've been working on stuff and it's fun. And I've just been going into the city doing shows and working on getting into more clubs and stuff like that. So it's I've been writing, so it'll be good to just get some stuff out there. And I had to deal with an unruly audience member last night for the first time at the casino. I was like,
let me ask you about that.
I mean, you at the casino. I don't get that.
Let me ask you about that. Well, it's Atlantic City, Karen. It's not the same.
My bad.
Let me ask you this though. Do you think the trend of all the crowd work videos on TikTok and Facebook and stuff, is it affecting the audience? Like, have you seen a change in the audience? Because I feel like those videos imply that the audience is part of the act now. And I wonder, I mean, I haven't really seen, I'm just asking you because you have been in the clubs. Has it affected how audience members behave or act? Like they think, oh, I'm part of the bit now. Here we go.
I haven't really run into it, but I can definitely see where that is happening. There's other comics that have talked about that. And you see people that are doing things, trying to feed the algorithm. And really like, the way I do it, guys, is I'm at home, I write, I think of things that I think are going to be funny, and I try to present that to the crowd. I don't really want to have too much dialogue with them. I'm trying to make them laugh. So I don't do that, but and then like I tried posting stuff on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, but I'm thinking like, I don't know if I want to just let go of. I put a bunch of old stuff up there, but then it's like I'm not at the point where it's like I'm gonna fall back and just make sure I'm writing stuff and try to do it because it just doesn't seem to work for me. I haven't had any viral moments, but it's just like, oh, these bits from this dude are funny. So like that's kind of what I'm working on.
I wonder what the audience thinks when they see the comedian get on stage and they set up their phone to record not just them, but then turn the phone to record towards the audience. Cause that's how those clips seem to always work, where like, for some reason they also have an angle directly towards the audience members. And I'm like, man, I would feel weird if a comedian got on stage and turned his camera towards me. I'd be like, oh fuck, no, don't talk to me.
Yeah. It's weird. Cause I'm a fan of the performing arts and I get paid to go see the guy or the girl singing or doing their act. I just want to see them, you know.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. There's a certain amount of people that are really skilled at it. Like Stavros Halkias is really great at it, and I think
you have to be.
Yeah, and he tours a lot and he's famous, but I think when you go see him, he has an act. You know what I mean? And then I think he will. I don't know. He probably will talk to the crowd and stuff, but I think
and like at that point, people expect it from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like something he's doing for TikTok. Like once you become a fan of him, it's like, oh, he does this crowd work
the crowd
stuff.
is almost trained.
So I'm ready for him to do the crowd work when it's time. Like,
correct.
You know, when we went and saw you with Chris Hardwick, Chris Hardwick does a lot of crowd work shit, like out into the audience type crowd work. So you could tell the people that were like fans of his because they were like ready for it. Like, I'm an electrical engineer, you know, like they couldn't fucking wait to like be part of the act. And so I think that's different than what this trend is with TikTok now, where it's like act for that. I don't know. I think the funniest thing I heard about this is a long time ago, but Keith Malley from Keith and the Girl said, whenever a comedian starts doing crowd work, you should be like, it's not my fault you didn't write anything.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Because you
material out of me.
Yeah, it's the thing, man. You come to see somebody with their material, and it's a weird thing where people think they can interact, but I haven't run into too much of that. But then like last night, there was this guy. I was in the middle. I was getting ready to close out my set, and this guy was like, "You're garbage. You suck. You're garbage." And it was a black dude, and it was a black dude, and because I don't think my material is. I can be dark and I could be like witty or biting and stuff, but like. I think, and then after the show, I found out that he was talking through the other guy's set. So at the Borgata, there's 3 comedians. Everybody does 20 minutes. And so there was a first guy that went up, and then I went up second, and I was about to close out. And he got really mad. And then I just listened to him talk. I said, well, sir, everybody else is enjoying the show. You can leave. And he's like, I'm glad I didn't pay for this. Blah, 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 blah. And he was just going on, and I still killed, but it was just like really, it was just, he was just hating on everybody.
That's wild. That's wild because I wonder if that guy was trying to change the energy in the room. Because if you were doing well, like, was he trying to be like, no, guys, actually he sucks, right? And everybody's like, no, shut the fuck up. We're trying to watch the show, buddy.
Yeah, the crowd cheered when he left. Because I was working on this bit about like Black unity and like about like how it's hard to be Black. And I'm not gonna give the joke away, but it's like how it's hard to be Black. And it's not just to say it's so hard being Black. Let me feel sorry for me, white people, you know, but it's just some of the things that you have to deal with. And it's the way that we're connected because of slavery. And I was like trying to go into the bit. I would say like, you know, there's Black people in this room that I've never met that I don't want to let them down.
Right.
And then that's when the dude was like, you're garbage. I hate you. You're the worst. You're the worst. I was like, and then after he had his tantrum, I said, well, I let him down, guys. and it was a crowd of like 700-800 people, and it ripped. So, you know, I finished the bit, but like after the show, like people were coming up to me, oh my God, you were so great, blah, blah, blah. You know, it was fine, but it was just like, it's like, man, you know, like you try to do a bit about Black unity and you're the worst.
You know, it's interesting because like you should plant that guy in every show now. Cause I feel like this happened to me once when I was working at IHOP. There was this fucking jerk who came in and he was like a huge jerk. Like he was one of those like, yeah, I'll have the T-bone and eggs, and the little lady will have the salad.
Which is one of the most expensive things on the menu at IHOP.
Yeah, but it's like she'll like he was ordering for her. Like she'll have the salad dressing on the side. You know, da da da. And I'm just sitting there looking like, ma'am, are you being sex trafficked? Do you need help?
Right. And can you make a choice?
Like, you know, give me a wink if you need me to call, you know, the police. But after all that shit, he fucking gets his food and then he claims it was cold. He's like, it's set up. He ate the whole fucking thing, by the way, except like one bite. And he's like, yeah, this is terrible. And he's like really being loud about it. And clearly he just wanted to get his fucking food free.
Right.
Like, it was just such a naked, like, you're a piece of shit person. But his fussing and being loud about it, and I had to go get a manager, and everyone, I was new, and everyone in my section saw it, and I got like in the weeds dealing with this nigga because he was like, you know, I need this and I need that, and bring this, you know, he was one of these people. And the manager sold me the fuck out. You know, he's like, when I was over there talking to the manager, like, yo, I think this dude's trying to just get a comp meal. He ordered a steak. He lied and said the food sat in the window. It didn't. I brought it right out. It was still hot, blah, blah, blah. And then my manager's like, okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, no problem. I see, I'm sick of shit like this, blah, blah, blah. As soon as he goes over there, he's like, I'm sorry, he's new. He's terrible. It's his fault. It's free. Everything's free. Don't worry about it. And I think that dude still left me a tip, but because he knew it wasn't my fault, but he still left me a tip that wasn't a lot, but it's just like, fuck you, nigga. Like, you definitely tried to make me look bad. You shitted on me in front of everybody. And on top of that, I slipped and fell in the kitchen holding a bunch of glasses. They broke and cut my arms up. They had to like bandage me up, give me a new shirt, and everyone like saw it and heard it, everyone in my section. And so like I was fucked up that day. I went in the break room, like tended to my wounds. I cried a little bit. Like, I think everyone who's been to server has cried at some point. Yes, and then I went back out there, like got myself together, and all the tables, of course, had left by that time, you know, that I had, and they all left huge tips, like to
overcompensate because like, they seen he was
like
an ass.
What, like one couple stayed to tell me like, you didn't do anything wrong. That guy was an asshole. Even when you weren't here, we could hear him like basically saying he was gonna basically get this meal for free and shit. Like, you know, we know you're new, blah, blah, blah. And so it was really nice that everyone did that. My point being, after that, I said, fuck, I need that guy to come back like 3-4 times a week. You know what I mean? Because like I could be cleaning up. You know, right? Like right now, this is a one-time story for me where that's the most money I've ever made off of tips. But if this nigga would like at least hop in 2-3 times a week, man, I could get paid. I'd be like one of these like white girl servers that get money because all the truck drivers want to fuck them and shit. I need that kind of change.
The so black guy who gets tipped.
Right. You gotta plant a coon person in every audience now that when you bring up shit, they're like, you let me down. I'm upset and I'm a black person and I don't like unity. I'm leaving. And then everybody else is like, this comedian is brave.
It was so weird because it was a bit that wasn't, but I think it was I don't know, like you start like questioning, you're not questioning, but it's like, oh, is this bit? Because it's like bits that I've done for a while that I've been like honing, and it's like, oh, was that kind of like, no, I think that's just him. But then when I found out he was talking, he was like wilding a little bit before the show, like before I got up there, then it was like a problem. But it happens. I mean, I've been doing this almost like 15 years, so it's like,
what do you think is going on in those people's brains? Like, do they leave the house? Like, are they just mad at the world and they left the house to see a comedy show and just disrupt it, or what?
I don't know. Like sometimes at the casinos, like some people get in for free and they're like, oh, comedy show, I'm losing money betting, so I'll just go see a show. And it's like, then maybe he was in a bad mood. I don't know. Like I was like, because I have a bit about like a little chunk about worrying about money and like how it leaves you on edge, and I think I referenced something about, maybe this is saving you time from betting on a 5th string quarterback in preseason football or something. I kind of referenced that. And I don't know if that got to him, but I don't know. It's you never know what people are going through, and you just like, I'm just up there doing my act. I'm doing what I love to do. And it's like I was listening on the way down here, like listening to this Little Brother record off the Minstrel Show, Beautiful Morning, where Big Pooh said, I still struggle just like you. I still hustle just like you. But it just so happened that Big Pooh doing what he loved to do. And that's real shit. And that's always, just because you see me up there, you know, I'm not famous. You know, look, this is how I feel. Like, I know, like, I have worked a lot and worked hard to be a very talented, unknown comedian and unknown podcaster and unknown actor. So I'm pretty confident that I know what I'm doing. And do I fall short sometimes? Yes, but for the most part, I'm batting really well. I'm batting well enough to get into the All-Star game. So it's just like, it's like that's his shit, man. Am I affected by it? A little bit, but I was proud of myself that I was just like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't yell back at him. I grew up in a black household. I didn't have to yell. Back at this dude. I just said, okay. I was like, all right. Well, maybe you should leave. All right. Then let me finish my set. I got paid well.
Right. You're going to get paid regardless. And going back to something that Roger said, I think that because of the age of the internet and all the phones are pointed at us, I think that some people do want to be, or they feel like because they paid, they are part of your show when you're at, even though they ain't write nothing, they ain't put in on anything. They feel like they have to be in, like Roger said, but a lot of these clips of the interaction with the audience going viral, a lot of people feel like I want to be the other person that the comic is talking to, so I could be a part of the viral moment.
Yeah, like I said, I just wonder. I don't know that that's what this guy was doing, but it just made me wonder.
Right.
If audiences are showing up more ready to be part of the act now than they were,
I think it's a small percentage, but
because like a person like this was doing that before TikTok. You know, like this kind of disruptive heckling that people do, like it's to me, it's just like, you know, a great ad for BetterHelp or something. It's just like, you need therapy.
It's a thing, man. And I'm in therapy. I've been in therapy for like a year and a half, and it's helped me. And it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, man, like, you don't like the show, you can leave, you can do anything, but you know, you don't have to
don't have to be here. Nobody's handcuffed you to that table.
Plus I mean, everybody else is having a good time, or even if they weren't, they were quiet about it. So it's not, that guy's not my cup of tea. I'll watch the next guy.
It reminds me of that thing Chappelle said after he came back and he bombed that night, and he goes, "I get paid for the attempt."
Yes.
Like that's the truth, though.
It's true.
I was gonna say, also, Chris, I thought I heard you allude to dating. Are you dating now after, you know, like is it like, did you shut down for the pandemic? Were you dating during the pandemic, and are you dating now?
I'm dating now. I wasn't dating during the pandemic. I'm just putting myself out there a little more. And I told you offline that I secretly date black women. So
oh God, you're ruining.
Oh my God! Oh fuck!
Now who's heckling? Now who's heckling my bits?
You are fucking up the image.
We've had a 10-year bit going on this show,
right? A 10-year run
that you only date white women.
Them white starlets. How dare you?
I thought I had things queued up to talk about here, and I
mean, we was gonna do white people news and everything.
I still like white people news. It was just that I was like, that was me being like Mel Kiper, because at the time they wouldn't let black women do a variety of roles like they let white girls do your like teen soap. Then they let her do a horror movie. Then she does an indie. Then she does like an Oscar caliber. Now they're letting black women do.
I have old clips from when we had you on the show and you talked about dating back then. Hold on, let me play the clip.
Plainfield is magnificent, man. Snow bunnies everywhere now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes I'm on a ski trip, and because I ain't never pulled so many before. You know, it's like I go to these clubs down here in downtown, and it's like snow bunny heaven, you know, blonde hair, brunette hair. Hey, sometimes I go for the freaky one, the purple blue, you know, hair. I like the Caucasian girls. They like to feel on me. I like to feel on them. Double D's, hey, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Who is that?
That's an old clip.
That's from from one of me and Roderick's favorite reality TV shows.
Oh my God. I don't know that guy.
But we've talked about it offline before, and like it was really a joke that got out of control because like I just thought it was funny to like because I knew you would talk about the white starlets as like you said, like a Mel Kiper talking about the incoming draft class of quarterbacks. You'd be like, oh, you know, we to this day they're still, you know, he's like Brie Larson called it early.
Well, I did, I did, man. I called it 2013.
But like I thought it was just funny to then turn that into like, yeah, because Chris just loves these fucking white women, man. Here he goes again. You know, like when you gonna name some black women, you know? And so it took on a life of its own.
It did.
And I remember talking to Chris like just offline or something, and I was like, yeah, I kind of feel bad about that joke. I feel like there's some people in the audience that think that's for real.
Right.
And I'm like,
they probably stopped listening to my podcast and like
right. This nigga, he go talk about the white starlets again. Yeah.
Unfollowed me. It's all good, man.
But what's it like? Any difference dating post pandemic versus before the pandemic? Are people like? Is there a different vibe?
I mean, on the apps, like I'm on the dating apps, and it's like women have to worry about somebody killing them. Men, and I get that, and men, we have to be worried about getting set up or just or being lied to. Like you match, like if you match with somebody and they say they live like in a certain town, they might live in Barbados. I matched with this one woman that was like, I was like, oh, so do you live in Newark, New Jersey? Oh, that's not that far from me. And then they're like, actually, I live in Barbados. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I matched with her. And I'm not.
Right. Also, I watch way too much true crime for this. And I only watch the black ones, right? I watch the ones that come on TV one. Fatal Attraction, For My Man, ATL Homicide. You know?
ATL, ho.
So I watch the black ones. And let me tell you, first of all, you're right. Women getting killed a lot. It's happening a lot. But they also cover the men that get killed.
Yep.
And the main reason men get killed on the dating apps is because they're just trying to fuck. Like it's all
they don't use no common sense.
It's not fuck the common sense thing. I'm just saying, like, if you just want to fuck somebody, like it's just like, yo, I would like to have sex with you tonight. There, people will be like, oh yeah, come to this dark alley. It's like, okay, no problem.
Man, I matched with this one woman, and I don't. You never know who listens to this shit, but like I matched with this one woman, and she lived in Queens, and I was like, oh, do you want me to pick you up, or you just want to meet at the restaurant? And she was like, meet me at this deli, and I was like, I don't think we should do. It's just a block over from where I live. I know we just met. I was like, I gotta work late. So I don't think we should do this. And she was pretty, but like I was just like, It
is interesting because like there's so many scams now. The internet, I think we've all over the last at least 5 or 6 years had a huge societal awakening to just how the internet can be not real and dangerous, like still an election dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
So everyone's hella cautious about like meeting up and stuff. And then you want to know what I really don't understand how you're dealing with like people that are dating now. What is okay to make social media content out of on these dating apps? I don't understand the rules because sometimes people share shit and they're like, this woman said this thing to me, and I'm reading and I'm like, nigga, you're the one that's wrong. Why did you tell the world that? And then vice versa, like things that we've agreed should be private. You got people like showing someone's face and being like, look at this nigga think he can date me or whatever. And I'm like, doesn't that seem like a huge violation of whatever the unwritten laws of dating are supposed to be? Like, okay, you took a shot at me. I'm just gonna swipe left because I don't want to date you. Instead, it's like Reddit, you know, like at Tinder on Reddit. Like, listen, everybody, this woman think her titties is big enough to fuck with a pimp like me. I don't think so. I'm like, why are you telling me any of this information? Why are you sharing your text messages and your exchanges? So like, is that something you think about when you see that on social media, or is it something you think about also with like your act on stage, like what can be content versus what is like private?
Well, I dated this one. She don't listen to this. She probably don't follow me no. But I had a successful run with this one woman I went out with earlier this summer. We went out on 3 dates, and it didn't work out. I think she had her own stuff that I think she had to deal with, and I really did like her. But she was Black and she was Ivy League educated.
Okay.
So just letting y'all know, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Ladies.
And you know,
Blackness.
That one was like that. I think she was cool, but then it's just like you have to sift through so much to find somebody that's like that's decent. Like there's people that think they have more options than they do. And it's kind of like an illusion to where it's like you think just because all these people are on here that I have these options and this, but it's really not. And then it's people that try to say that there's something that they're not. And it's like I matched with this one woman that I thought lived in make 45 minutes away from me. And she's like, actually, I live in upstate New York. And then I talked to her on the phone. She seemed okay, but then it was kind of weird. Then I looked at her her profile a couple days later. She said she was living in another town. So I just unmatched her. Like, it's some like scamming stuff. I matched with this one woman. It's like if they tell you to get on another app instead of like giving you their phone number, that's a scam. Like this one woman said, I was like, oh, how, you're like, nice to match with you. How's your week treating you so far? Or whatever you say. And she said, oh, it's pretty good. Actually, I'm an escort and I do these things and blah, 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 blah. And if you want to find out, you can get on WhatsApp. And I said, I'm sure you're amazing at what you do, but I'm not looking for that. And it's just.
On my Instagram, I'm very openly just following butt accounts. It's like, okay, you want to show me your butt? I will watch you show me your butt. That's the deal. It's just butts and friends on there, and that's fine with me. But that also means a shit ton of like bots will hit up my IG messages to be like, hey, why don't you get Snapchat? And it's like, ma'am, sir in Russia, this is not what I'm on here for. Right. Like, hey, handsome, I'm happily married. I just wanted to look at some butts. I don't care. It could be AI butts for all I care. Just leave me the fuck out of this like scamming part.
Right, this foolishness. And I can tell I am very thankful that I've been married in a lot of the age of the apps and all that stuff, because at this point in my life and the way I am, I don't think I'm built for it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, nigga, you're gonna have to run into me in the fucking grocery store.
I think also though,
I want to do a fucking background check on you.
I also wonder if people have. I feel like with media, social media, all this stuff, all the paranoia we're absorbing about each other, I feel like something's kind of been lost in like the last 20 or so years, where the just bump into someone at the grocery store type of thing is like, that's more scary to people than the app.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd be a weirdo to see somebody at a grocery store and be like, would you like to go out sometime? At this point, it'd be like, what the fuck wrong with this nigga? Why isn't he on Tinder? Like, why isn't he on an app? Don't just ask me to my face. What's wrong with you? I just wonder.
Yeah, people avoiding that personal interaction.
If it's like that now, because like I know me as just a person, the commodification of humanity via the internet has really dehumanized us in some ways and made things very transactional. I think the apps have really simplified sex and love into extremely transactional. Like, do you check these statuses? If not, do not even talk to me. And I'm not saying those things are necessarily wrong, but they are definitely a change. So I wonder if you look like a whole fucking weirdo to just like pull up on somebody in this day and age. We like the other thing we're privy to now that we weren't before is the inner monologues of people.
Correct.
So like, let's say in Chris's mind, he sees somebody at the grocery store checkout line and he's like, you know, hey, I'd love to get your number and take you out sometime. And then later there's a Twitter thread or something being like, this giant black man intimidated me. I was already, my mother had just died. I already was dealing with this. I was on my period. And then he hoped over me and demanded I give him my number. I gave it to him because I was scared. And now he wants to go out on a date with me. What should I call the police? And it's like, oh shit, this was happening in this person's head. And I had no idea the whole time.
Right. And it's kind of weird. And like I said, maybe this is just me and my anxiety, but it's like I said, I look at those apps going, okay, this is not interpersonal. You know, I actually have to fucking know you. So even though we go through the apps, I still got to get to know you. Mm-hmm. Period. Like, you know, it has to be some form of, we got to have some form of, everything can't just be strictly through these apps. And so for me, I'm like, well, let's bypass the app. But I do understand what you're saying, because for a lot of people, whenever you go out and do things, most people are heads are in their phones, they're face down. People don't look up. People don't interact with each other. Like there's no.
Well, we have our own. My thing is, we have our own reality in our phone. Like I said, let's say Chris asked this woman for a number. She goes in her car, turns on IG Live, turns the phone towards her, and starts crying about how bad that situation was. In Chris's world, he only did was ask this woman for a number,
right?
But we used to not be privy to that part, and I wonder if it's changed people. Where it's like it's more safer and clinical and sterile almost to just go through an app.
I see what you're saying.
I saw your picture. I saw what you say. I don't.
It makes it cleaner.
Yeah, and if you're weird or crazy or whatever, I can just pretend this never happened, swipe left, and unclick your account and not worry about it.
Yeah,
so like I guess that's my question, Chris.
Correct.
Have you do you think that's changed to like approaching someone in person, or is it like is it like the app's kind of the only way now?
Well, I haven't there's people I've dated that I've met in person, and it's just it just depends. It's just whatever the format is, because eventually you're going, even if you're on the apps, you're gonna eventually have to take it off the app and talk to, like, even just talking to somebody on the phone. I mean, I talked to someone that I had met on the app. She seemed nice. We'll see what happens, but it's and then it's just how old the person is too.
Right.
Like a woman that's the same age as me, 43, is going to be different than somebody that's like 34 or 35.
Right.
So it's going to be like it's kind of like it's a generational thing, and
right.
And people don't really talk on the phone that much anymore.
Yep.
So it's just it's.
I think if I was dating, I'd go for older women. I think that's the way for me now. Is like I need a woman that when I take around my mom, they can like share the same cultural experiences. You know, it's like, oh shit, you was at that James Brown concert. I need that. I need that in my life. I'm done with drama. Okay.
You want a Gertrude in your life?
Yeah. Like they already went through menopause. They, they haven't had all their kids. They just want a low maintenance man that they can like go on cruises with that just don't bother nobody.
Right.
I feel like that's where it's at. I feel like I would understand if everybody that is like our age just gave up on dating for like 20 years and then came back to like, okay, y'all for real now that we can go to the old folks home, can we just be for real and do couple shit?
Now since I can meet you at bingo, can we cut all the bullshit out?
Right.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, it's trial and error, like with a lot of things, but I think I'm just trying to be more open to it now. And because I've been on them for like off and on for like a year, really. And then there's one woman that I talked to, but we never went out. She was being weird. Then there's one woman that matched with me, and then we're just friends on Instagram now. And we don't tried to go. I asked her out, and she was like flaky about it. So now she just looks at my stories on Instagram.
Can you just share this status for me real quick, Chris? Stop asking me weird stuff.
Yeah, so I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna.
Nah, you gotta get you a woman that you can like help up the stairs, bro. That's the key to all this shit, man. Like people, because she ain't gonna be playing them games. She probably don't even know how to work Instagram, you know. So you ain't gotta worry about all that.
Well, there's one woman I dated. She wasn't even on it. Now I don't know how. Like she was like just a couple years. I think a couple years younger than me, and she wasn't on it. And that would be like, but man. You just don't know what other people are going through, and everybody's the main character in their own story, but then there's also everybody has their own shit, and I'm just trying to like, even though I have my shit that I'm trying to get over, or I'm trying to evolve and be better, I'm still trying to put myself out there because like I said, like there's a reason. No, I don't want to say. What will I say? You just spend a lot of time focusing on your career that it's like, oh, that's important, but it's not everything. And so like, that's kind of what I would like to have a partner. And I'm going to, even though I've been hurt in the past, I am not going to let that past hurt keep me from something that could be good for me. A woman that could be great for me and help.
I have to address the chat room because I've seen a lot of pushback on my dating ideas, and I don't think they're really hearing me out on this. Listen, I'm saying, what's wrong with date? First of all, y'all ageist, number one, just because I'm open to dating the whole field. Secondly, what's wrong with a woman that's gonna be like feed you by 5 and be in bed by 6? What's wrong with that?
Come on.
Okay.
By 8 o'clock the night over.
Okay. What's wrong with a woman that's gonna just give you like a PS5 and be like, do your thing after 6 because I'm going to sleep. See you in the morning. I don't understand why y'all have a problem with that shit. And you ain't gotta worry about them having no crazy ass baby daddies because they either dead or they old too and they done got their situation figured out. You don't have to worry about that. Kids grown. You can kick it with their kids, you know what I'm saying? Like their kids is grown, they come over and just check on you. You be like, what's up, bro? You might know them. It's a lot of, I think y'all are really being immature by Xing out a whole generation of people from y'all dating. But that's, you know, y'all just need to understand. I'm just trying to get everybody to be happy and open up their horizons. I'm sorry to the older people in the audience that I don't think you're off limits for dating and for love. I'm sorry, K-Can, that I believe in you and think you're a valuable person and worth being respected and loved. I'm sorry for that. I'll go back to telling people that y'all Diane Feinstein and should just go die and y'all should be off limits and no one should even think about y'all. I'll go back to that. My bad. Somebody got to break them old people breaking their hips somehow. And I know it ain't all falling down the stairs. Y'all can't trick me. But yeah, Chris, we love to see it, man. I'm glad you're getting out here. Let's talk some current events and some stuff, okay? Actually, no. Before we do that, if we even do that, I forgot music. We always talk about music too. Mm-hmm. What you listening to?
I really like the Sky Zoo album, From the Mind of a Saint, the concept album that he did based on Snowfall. It's just like, that's one of my favorite hip hop albums of the year. Also, I mean, I think the Killer.
Sky Zoo puts out like a project at least once a year, and it's always in your like rotation.
He's one of my favorites. Like the album that he did last year, the year before, All the Brilliant Things. To me, that's like, I think he's at the top of his game with that. Like, it's as far as just putting out an album. But then it's almost like he kind of eclipsed what he did with that project with this one, which is a concept album on a TV show, where I think he had the constraints of like, I'm rapping from the perspective of Franklin Saint. So it's like only in the maybe late 70s, early 80s things that he's doing, so that he's referencing. So like to me is an accomplishment in and of itself from a technical standpoint. I really like Madison McFerrin's new album. Like technically it's like her debut, like her like a full-length project. Bobby McFerrin's daughter.
What kind of music does she do?
She's soul. She's a soul singer. And I've tried to catch her. She's got this album called I Hope You Can Forgive Me. It came out earlier this summer. And it's she's just good, like a really solid singer. She sung the hook on Black Magic for Little Brother.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if she felt pressure when she started to do like her dad's style. You know, that
yeah.
People was like, the nepotism worked against her. When she would show up and just do regular soul music, they'd be like, "What the fuck was that?"
Well, she's got a song with her dad on this new album.
Is he still doing that shit?
I don't know what he's doing when he's on tour, but like, I'm sure that's part of it. But I know they work together. She's got a brother also, and she's been around for a while. I think she sung. Did she sing at?
People only know Bobby McFerrin from that one hit too. That Don't Worry, Be Happy. Yeah, I feel like people don't know a lot of his other work. Like he has some really dark, depressing work. Like I got anxiety. I'm gonna kill myself, and that one didn't go really as well. People didn't buy that one. You know.
And I like the Black Thought L. Michaels Affair album, Glorious Game. I think with Nas kind of gets put on a different level because he's more of a solo artist with what he's doing at almost 50 years old. But Black Thought to me is like an all-time favorite of mine. Like I kind of feel like for me it's like him and everybody else. And so like Black Thought is doing incredible work also at somebody who is in his 50s, if early 50s, if not 50, however old he is. The Killer Mike album's good. I haven't been spinning it that much, but it is very good.
Yeah, I've been listening to that a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's incredible.
That nigga might be meeting with Brian Kemp, but them bars are meeting with my fucking.
It's just like shut up and rap, Killer Mike.
Stay in that lane.
The bars are meeting with that production. Okay,
it's so hard. I was listening to it.
Damn it, bro! Like I've been listening to No Name's album came out Friday, and I've been forcing myself to listen to it because I'm one of the few people that actually like listen to No Name because a lot of her quote unquote fans on Twitter, they don't listen to her music. They just like that she's on Twitter talking a lot of shit.
Right.
But then when it's time to like buy a concert ticket, they'd be like, you thought? But I like listen to her music. And in the past, like I've kind of liked some of her stuff. I think it's like Amino. Like there's like a whole little Amine, I think. But there's a whole like collective of like these kind of Chicago jazzy hip hop niggas that I fuck with. And it's like real mellow bars. I actually think I have a playlist called Mellow Bars with a lot of their music on there. And her shit comes up frequently when she's like featured on other people's tracks. And I'm always like, oh yeah, No Name, I fuck with her. But man, this album, dude, the production is so bad. It's coffee shop hip hop, man. It's like NPR. And I know she has issues with like I think she's a bit jealous of these acts that do better than her, and they're big names too. That like, you're not. That was not on the table. You're not Beyonce, Jay-Z, J. Cole, Kendrick. Like you name dropping them as like these people that need to be taken down sounds a little convenient, you know. Like Yeah. It's like when a comedian's like, it's like when a comedian's like, I hate this guy, and it's like because he's doing better than you, you know. Like do you hate? Is he not funny, or is he filling up arenas and he's actually kind of funny? Like you just think you're funnier than him, and you don't like that he has the things that you would like to have, right? And she kind of does that. And so listening to the album, I was just like, man, your tweets are hotter than your album. That's not a good thing, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I also like the Little Dragon new album, Slugs of Love. They
okay.
It came out a couple weeks ago, and they did a Tiny Desk that just came out a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I really like them. That's about it. I mean, I'm as far as like the newish stuff I've been listening to.
Yeah, I've been listening to JPEG Mafia, Scaring the Hoes. But it's a little too weird and out there for me. I think I need to listen to it more. Danny Brown is part of it, you know.
The Little Dragons, is this a white group?
They're from
like an Asian main singer.
Japanese, like the lead singer got a little soul in her.
Okay, a bunch of stuff popped up. I was like, let me be sure I'm picking the right Little Dragon.
I listened to that Black Milk.
Oh yeah, that's
Everybody Good.
Yeah,
I like that too. That's kind of like what I was hoping No Name's album would be, because like Black Milk got a laid back sound too.
He does.
I think his delivery was just more enthusiastic, and I think that changes a lot.
Yeah, Black Milk, that record that Fonte did with him was like, oh shit, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow. I mean, if for the listeners that haven't heard, it's really good. Like I didn't like Black Milk. He's not like a guy that's always out there like that. But I remember him when I first started. He was producing stuff for Elzai and Royce and that whole Detroit crew, and he's really kind of become like this. He's just kind of evolved into a really interesting artist on the production side, and he can rap, and yeah, he's really good. He's one of those.
He's in an interesting space where like he feels like the version of like a hip hop boutique act, where he could probably just live as a rapper, producer his whole life, and maybe never ascend to that like cultural stardom type of shit, but also never have to. You know, almost like Skyzoo, where like you never really, I'm a rapper by trade, and that's how I make my fucking money. I put out dope projects for people that have the time to listen, and that's just what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Yeah. But yeah, I fuck with that album too, and I think I heard you talk about it first, which is what made me start listening to it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our music segment. All right. Now,
music minute.
Yeah. Now it's time to get into some actual news stuff. But of course, I gotta put in ads later. So let me play some music so I can remember where to put the ad. A Utah man suspected of threatening President Joe Biden was shot and killed as the FBI served a warrant.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Talked that shit. Wanted that smoke. And the FBI came and gave it to him. Mm-hmm. He is an armed Utah man accused of making violent threats against President Joe Biden. He was shot and killed by the FBI hours before the president landed in the state Wednesday. Darth Brandon strikes again. You love to see it.
I mean, what happened? They pulled up and he was like, "You won't take me alive, coppers." They was like, da 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 da.
Yeah, they said he posted online that he had heard Biden was coming to Utah, and he was planning on digging out his camouflage suit and began cleaning the dust off my M24 sniper rifle. A post that came after
asking for them to come show up at your house, buddy.
Who wants to smoke? A post that came after months of graphic online threats against several public figures, according to court documents. Robertson referred to himself as MAGA Trumper, a reference to Donald Trump's Make America Great Again slogan. He also posted threats against top law enforcement officials overseeing court cases against Trump. He's apparently described as an elderly, frail man. He was 74 years old. He walked with the aid of a hand-carved stick, though he regularly carried guns. They said his neighbors say he didn't seem a threat, which just means he's white.
Of course.
Yeah, come on. If he lived in the black neighborhood, we'd be like, that's the most dangerous motherfucker on this block.
Right. Don't fuck with that old man.
Whiteness is amazing because you can see an old man that carried guns and leave threats to the president online and be like, I mean, he seemed like a elderly, frail sort of guy. He needed a walking stick. I don't really know what happened.
About that, he can still fuck you up with them guns.
They probably wasn't rocking with him on social media. That's probably why they didn't know.
Maybe that's it. But I don't know. I feel like when you living like this, it comes out in other ways. Like
probably.
There's no way he was the sweet man down the street and everybody was shocked, Yeah,
man. It's like somebody in the chat said, it's fuck around and find out. Like he was talking all that shit and Biden was there coming and like
and there was no problem. You saying it online too.
MAGA means FAFO. So then they said this is I guess a neighbor. There's no way he was driving from here to Salt Lake City, setting up a rifle and taking a shot at the president. 100% no way, said his neighbor Andrew Monder outside the church across the street from Robertson Street. The attack counts as Republicans who blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that part.
Don't care. They showed up like there was a shootout probably, and he got shot and died. So okay, he wasn't gonna shoot nobody.
His post did also. This is that person sounds fucking ridiculous to me. Reading this next paragraph, Robertson's post did appear to show that he owned a long-range sniper rifle and numerous other weapons, as well as the camouflage gear known as a ghillie suit. So this motherfucker's like, listen, there's no way he would have did it. Well, he owned all the things of a person who would do that.
What the fuck is a ghillie suit?
It's the camouflage suit that the people wear that makes them blend into the background where it looks like leaves or something. The foliage is covering them.
Oh, like their whole body or something?
Yeah, and you lay down on the ground and it's like from a distance, no one can even make you out. Because you're just blending into the trees and stuff.
Oh no, nigga, I'm showing up at your motherfucking house too.
Yeah, you see them in like video games like Call of Duty, any movie about the Army and Marines, Tom Cruise. Anytime he's killing people in Mission Impossible, you see stuff like that. It looks like Swamp Thing almost. This is what one of them looks like.
I was thinking of something completely different.
Yeah.
Oh shit, nigga.
So you can like
Amazon be selling them. You get anything off Amazon. Damn.
Anything involving guns in America, you can get within like a day. It's like planning on killing some people. Yeah. Let us help you.
Did they take down that Kyrie Urban video that he spawned?
It's probably still up there.
Shit, that's it. You can get overnight. I bet you if you'd have went on about 3:00 this morning, they would say you can get it for 11.
Honestly, if you go watch the Kyrie Irving video, one of the suggested ads is probably a ghillie suit. It's probably like, while you're here, you might want to buy a ghillie suit and some sniper rifle gear if you want to kill some people.
That's that shit where you'll be walking, all of a sudden you hear something go ouch, and you be like, the fuck is the swamp ouching for?
So yeah, he wrote, the time is right for a presidential assassination or two. First Joe, then Kamala. He wrote in a September 2022 Facebook post. Yeah, I mean, child, you looking like the Swamp Thing. Yes, they's gonna show up at your house.
I'm surprised they didn't get him earlier.
Yeah, the FBI investigation began with a tip about the brag threat from Trump's own social media platform, Truth Social, in March. After Robertson posted about waiting in the courthouse parking garage with a suppressed weapon and wanting to put a nice hole in his forehead. His account has since been suspended from the platform. Well, so much for free fucking speech. God damn.
I know, man. What the fuck? What's going on?
First Amendment. What about the First Amendment, Donald Trump? You taking people off of your website?
Social snitched on them.
Come on, man. I thought you was a place where you can go say, threats, illegal threats to the president. I thought you was the person behind that.
Donald Trump worried about his own ass going to jail. He was like, fuck him, anything to get him off me.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess they went ahead and took him off of here. Yeah, that's it for him. Good luck.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, he was a great American citizen. He was just doing his job.
Oh no,
I'll pay for the funeral services.
Listen, nobody throws his people under the bus like Donald Trump after they do some shit. Like he will never mention this man again. Not if he ever mentioned him before, he wouldn't mention him again. He could have that man on stage with him yesterday. Once you do some shit like this, Donald Trump's like, and scene, I'm out. And scene. Look how he did. What's that nigga Herman Cain? Has Donald Trump or his people ever mentioned Herman Cain again? He don't care. Like you served your purpose. You died for the MAGA. Peace.
And people still don't get it, man. They still don't get it.
They still don't. People still signing up for that bullshit.
Come on. He ain't talked about pressing 12 in forever. Them two disappeared. They got kicked off the site. And he just was like, okay.
Right. Let's do some Montgomery brawl updates. They've charged men charged in Montgomery brawl have been trouble for the riverboat captain says. So one, the guy that we thought was security is actually co-captain of the Harriet too. Right. And he says those people that wouldn't move their pontoon boat had been problems before before that time anyway. So they banned, and everybody that was associated would have been banned. Don't y'all ever come up here and fuck now
me in.
3 of the white dudes, Richard Roberts, Alan Todd, and Zachary Shipman, were charged with 3rd-degree misdemeanor assault and the attack on Pickett at the dock. All 3 of them turned themselves in. They also said that Richard Roberts, 48, has a warrant pending for striking a 16-year-old white boy, and that Reggie Gray, a 42-year-old black man who was seen hitting people with that folding chair during the brawl, has not turned. Well, at the time he hadn't turned himself into police. I think he has now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew he was gonna get.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he went a little too hard, you know. Yeah. So those people are turning themselves in. Meaning that a lot of those black people are not being charged in anything. So essentially these police are like, if you fucking tried to beat up that captain, you incited this whole incident, you got your ass whooped, but you also got to face these charges. Now that misdemeanor charges was just right. None of these people are going to do time or anything, but I just think it's interesting the way that Montgomery, which has a black mayor for like the first time, who appoints the police people in that jurisdiction, were able to like practice some restraint. They didn't just show up and start beating the shit out of black people who were in the right. They don't seem to be trying to like press charges on every black person just because they got them on video like it was January 6th or something. So far so good. And yeah, Buddy with the chair, I mean, I guess they starting up to GoFundMe for him or whatever, but I mean, he come on. When we saw that,
deserved that.
Everybody had that moment of like, yeah, he gonna have to see the court. For that.
He might. If anybody get time, he's gonna have to get time.
He should have did it in a ghillie.
He should have hit him with a ghillie suit.
Should have been laying down. He should
have been better off.
As long as you're not on Truth Social talking about it.
Okay. Put it into the background.
I didn't say it. Sorry about that.
Should have hit him.
I do. Hey, you know what? I do want to see the Truth Social thread about the Alabama Riverfront brawl.
Oh, you know that was.
I know Truth Social. I know they on there saying the opposite of everything Black Twitter saying,
of
and
course.
it's not good.
No, it's not.
They got their own memes, and they not funny. If you know what I'm saying.
I wonder if they talked about what Jason Aldean thought about it.
Right. Yeah. Did you see Marlon Wayans had to like clarify his statements on the? He made a joke.
What did he say?
So on Instagram, he had a screen cap from the video and said, how about we not try that in a small town? Shit silly, bro. Let's all just be love, not war. And people took that as him shitting on the Black people. So he had to come back later and be like, no, y'all don't understand fucking irony.
Right. That dude made that song about the small town. Like y'all have such short-term memory. Y'all don't remember the joke y'all made 3 weeks ago?
He said, why would I criticize Black people for defending themselves? This is the thing about social media, man. It's not for interpretation. Y'all tripping. Make no fucking sense. None at all. I shouldn't even address it. It's that stupid. But you know, people want to make articles and interpretations. Do it. I don't care. Black people know I love Black people. I'm Black. I woke up to a bunch of stupid ass Google alerts with a bunch of stupid ass sites misinterpreting my entire post. Nobody knows irony anymore, huh? Guess that just went out the window. That's the irony of the song, stupid asses.
Well, I guess we know what his next special is going to be about.
Yeah, he gonna have something to say.
Guys, I want to let you know how this Alabama brawl affected me,
right.
And how it's Will and Jada's fault.
Oh man. And then let's move into something that, you know, we always like to do when Chris is here, because we don't always get an opportunity to get an expert on the show.
Oh,
let's do some white people news.
White people news. Exciting to the barbecue. We might be problematic. With a little victim. It's so really hard on our fragile big city. White people news.
Yeah. White people news. Let's see what the whites is talking about. Amy Roback and TJ Holmes want to get engaged, according to reports.
Make it last forever and ever.
Lutellus and them really riding this one out. I gotta give them credit. This is like Olivia Pope level scandal image rehabilitation. Like, they out here holding hands unashamed. They doing everything together. They working out together. We haven't heard from their exes in a year now. Like, I think they might ride this out, get married, be on the cover of People magazine, and somehow America's gonna forget and be like, now why are we mad at them again? This is love.
I think so too. That's the whole plan.
Mm-hmm. So look at this. They look at, and they all, and you know, they know when the paparazzi around because they always smiling.
Oh yeah, they've been trained. They both know how to perform.
They always when they see a camera, they either start smiling or start making out.
One of the two, holding hands up.
Every time.
They was like, we ain't got to hide no more.
It's shady as hell. They put their exes in these pictures. And I did feel bad for the black ex at first, but then I found out Lutellus couldn't say nigga in his own house, and I said,
wait, what happened? He couldn't say he couldn't.
Yeah, he posted on Facebook or something a long time ago when we did a deep dive on this. And one of the posts said how, like, he was like, at the time he was trying to like give his wife props. So it was like, the woman who changed my life, who,
right,
you know, and it was one of the things that was weird to me was like, and she kept me, I don't say the N-word in my own house now. And I said, hold on now.
Amy will probably let him say it.
Right. Amy don't care.
Calls him.
Right. She probably, right. He probably, that's probably part of the kink. You know, probably. Who knows? In other white people news, a furious David Beckham reportedly ends friendship with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Because their podcast wasn't hitting hard enough? Or what's
happening? Apparently, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry think David and Victoria Beckham were leaking sources about the Sussexes. Like, they was going to the press telling all their private business. And so now they're absolutely bloody furious after accusations supposedly flew during a tense phone call between the couples. Any making up now is so unlikely, the insider claimed. The Beckhams were present at the royal pair's wedding in 2018 and were very supportive of Meghan's arrival in the UK. In the wake of their fallout, Meghan has seemingly replaced one Victoria with another, Victoria Jackson, a cosmetics magnate, and the couple's neighbor in Montecito, California. So yeah, apparently, you know, in white people world, the fallout is still continuing in the Meghan Markle Prince Harry pairing.
I know you got.
Hate to see it.
I wonder. Yeah, it sucks. But has that hype around them died down a bit? Them just be married and raise their
My question with stuff like this is like, what counts as friends? Because I can't picture these motherfuckers being friends. Like, you know, like, I don't think this type of high level fame and money friendship counts the same. Like, if you have to put out a press release that you don't fuck with somebody no more, was y'all really friends? You got to let the guys,
got to get the publicists involved.
Sources are saying that
sources is me.
Rod Morrow is very upset with Chris Lamberth and will not be speaking with him anymore.
We're not that famous yet. We're not.
Right? Yeah.
You're on a successful HBO show. I've done some TV work. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody's checking.
We got that should be everybody's goal. We need to get popular, famous, and rich enough to have to tell the world on Instagram when we don't fuck with each other, or like call page 6 and be a insider source to let them know me and Chris ain't getting along. I'm bloody furious.
Tyler Perry's their friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's their friend. He let him stay in that house. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I watched that Netflix doc. I
didn't watch it. I'm not that interested in them because it feels like such white people news to me. And I know like she's not white, and I get what people are saying. I'm not calling her white, but that doesn't mean you're not white people news. You can be black and constantly in white people news.
Right.
It just feel like I don't care. It ain't my business. And I think talking to you just now made me realize the one thing that could make me care is if they completely went black. Like if they were kicking it with Tyler Perry. Yeah. You know, like if like Vince they showed up, like if they showed up at the BET Awards, I think I would lose my fucking mind and be like, oh, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's like jock. I'd be like, oh nah, y'all better not talk about my peoples like that.
Didn't they do the NAACPs though?
I don't know. I haven't followed them like that.
I feel like they presented something at one of these black award shows, but from watching that documentary, I'm not 100% sure. It's been a minute, but
I need it to be like viral. So like I need to like look on Twitter and like they're in the front row of the Renaissance concert with Jay-Z. I need that kind of shit where I'm like,
I get it. No, yeah.
I'll pick the fucking side and I see like then I would defend them. Like right now I'm just kind of like, I don't know why y'all so mad at these people.
But BET is a little more buttoned down than the NAACP, so yes.
Yeah, I need them sitting next to Sexy Red when she's doing Pound Town. I need to see that and I'll be like, yeah, y'all gonna leave motherfucking Prince Harry alone.
Y'all gonna leave them niggas alone.
He part of the culture now. Naya Rivera previously accused Ariana Grande of being a homewrecker during Big Sean romance.
That's the actress that got drowned in the water, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she died. She drowned. She used to be on Glee.
Yeah.
Apparently, in her 2016 tome, Sorry Not Sorry, Dreams, Mistakes, and Growing Up, Rivera claimed that she ran into Grande at Big Sean's home before he called off his wedding to Naya Rivera, and started dating Ariana Grande. So the reason this is back in the news is that Ariana Grande and her new boo, Ethan Slater, started dating while they were working on, I believe, a play.
I heard that.
And the dude Ethan Slater is now getting divorced as well as her. She's getting divorced from Dalton Gomez.
Did she just marry that dude like 3 weeks ago?
2 years ago. 2 years. She's getting divorced from her man. He's getting divorced from his wife. And then the wife came out and was like, yeah, Ariana Grande a fucking homewrecker. And so that's why they went and found a Naya Rivera shit to be like,
yeah.
Speaking of home wrecking, in 2016, this you.
Man. Is Ariana Grande even 30 yet?
I don't think
I don't know. Let me see Ariana Grande's age. Actually, it's supposed to be. I keep forgetting I'm supposed to be saying Randy, but she's
30.
I'm convinced that certain stars do that shit after a certain amount of years just to be different. Because you know that you could have corrected us when you were 21. Don't try to make me change my brain chemistry at fucking 30 and be like, it's actually Grandy. Nah, nigga, it's Grande, and you knew it too.
Yeah, because you're gonna be the one saying it. You sound like an asshole if you people.
Right. Now I gotta be the dick. Guys, it's actually Grandy, she said. And I guarantee if I called her that, she wouldn't even turn around. If I was like, Ariana Grande, she'd be like, not talking to me. But yeah, so I think she is 30 years old.
Okay, okay.
So and then a lot of people, so she's in this play Wicked with this guy.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people, were very disappointed in that they think she can do better. Like they don't think he's a very attractive man. That's not for me to decide, but that's just
she got to hide like everybody else. They roll deep.
She's been catching a lot of heat. This is him with his ex-wife, I guess.
That's the guy she's with?
Yeah. I know.
Wow.
No.
Child.
It must be love. It must be.
Yeah.
Is he right there? I don't get that shot right there.
That's it. Which shot? This one?
Yes.
No, he's not performing. That's just his wife and him in a red carpet.
Okay. Yeah, look like he's about to perform on stage. Like I'm looking like, okay.
This is her and Dalton Gomez, her ex now. So yeah, she's done had a messy ass. She done made a mess over there, dog. You know, we hate to see it. But yeah, they said that you know, she was, you know, shit got bad between them and their exes at the same time that they, you know, that Ariana and this dude start hooking up in this place. So now they're saying she's a home wrecker and
everybody getting divorced.
Yeah, and now there's all kinds of statements and exes are mad and telling everybody's business and shit.
That's what you call a showmance that they're having.
Yeah, I believe in that.
Hot people hanging around each other for extended periods of time.
Right, and it's never like real life. Think about it. It's a play. You're acting. All your food is taken care of. You're getting paid money. You're away from like the world for the most part. Of course you're in love. Of course. Of course Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were. Of course they're fucking. What? He knew that when he took the gig. And no one's that strong. No one's that strong to be around Jolie for motherfucking 5 months of filming on islands and shit. And every need is catered and taken care of, and you away from your family, and y'all the two hottest people on the planet. Jennifer Aniston knew what it was when he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and film Mr. and Mrs. Smith." She's like, "All right, then, well, shit. Let me go ahead and sign back up for these apps."
Oh man.
Jerry Seinfeld dines with Larry David, Judd Apatow, Amy Schumer, and David Geffen in Italy.
Okay.
That's a cast,
isn't it? We love to see what the whites are getting up to these days.
Balling.
You know, pandemic.
These are actually white people. I know who they is.
Yeah, he was on vacation with his wife Jessica. They went to Andrea Panza in Amalfi with his celebrity pals, who were eventually joined by fellow comedian Amy Schumer and Apatow's wife Leslie Mann. And they ate outside too.
Shit! You know that meal was expensive as shit.
Yeah.
Also, like, what's it like being over there for them? Because if they ate outside, that means they weren't worried about being swarmed by fans and shit.
Yeah,
you know?
they don't be caring. I guess the fans don't care.
Yeah, I guess over there they're just like, yeah, okay. Let me get another pizza or whatever.
Yeah, they look at them like, you another American.
Yeah, so shout out to them for getting out there. We love to see the white people living. It's
living the best life.
Yeah, we over here fighting on boats. They over there, you know, in Italy eating up sandwiches and pastas and shit.
Oh, so they didn't do no means. These white folks got together with no black people over there and enjoying their meal in Italy type of shit, like they did them other white people who invited their friends to a dinner and everybody lost their minds. Like, how dare you have a dinner with your friends and nobody black or brown happened to be in the room with you?
It is interesting, right?
Maybe I'm the only one to remember that.
It is interesting that they came after that white starlet for having her dinner party with the white folks, but ain't nobody mad at Larry David.
Because I'm trying to tell you,
I see you, Karen. I see you over there.
Yeah, if I have a good time, me and my nigga friends, you better not say shit if ain't no white folks there. Leave us the fuck alone.
I see you, Karen.
So what ain't no white folks here?
Karen said, "Me and my nigger friends."
Yep.
Leave us alone.
From the South. Florida team. It's okay. We can't post to YouTube right now anyway, so they can't take it down.
No, they can't.
A Florida teen has been charged with wildlife abuse after chugging a twisted tea held by a baby alligator.
What? What? Right? What?
This is what the whites get into, guys.
How the Twisted Tea? Now why am I in it?
Oh my God.
He's outside of Hardee's. Him being outside of Hardee's really makes a lot of sense.
And this picture, oh my God, this picture.
So yeah. Shout out to Florida, man.
Right in front of my Hardee's, huh? Right in front of my Hardee's.
So he let the baby gator bite down on the 24-ounce can of Twisted Tea, and then he fucking held it up and drank out the tea. Now I do wonder, gator mouth juice, is that coming in? Are you drinking that too?
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get sick.
And of course, as always, the white people were very concerned about the gator.
Of course.
Yeah.
The lack of respect.
Fuck that dude.
The lack of respect for a white life.
Is the gator's teeth okay?
Right. They're like, God damn it.
What the fuck is wrong with Florida? What is wrong?
I don't know. Florida's like a constant dare is happening there. But also in the South with white folks, there is a viral TikTok boat challenge. I don't know if y'all have heard about this challenge, but apparently it is oh wait, never mind. Disregard. That it's now been debunked, but there was this happens all the time. Something happens on TikTok, the news reports it, and then someone has to fact check, and it's not true. But they were saying that people were dying doing this boat challenge, but apparently not true.
Good. I'm glad it's not true.
Let's see. Wisconsin man sentenced for hiding Dukes of Hazzard General Lee replica. So, do y'all remember the General Lee? I
had the toys. Yeah,
I did too. Man, to this
we've
day,
talked about this before. It's a great car.
My jam.
To this day, I'll never forget. My parents got me a Dukes of Hazzard cake because I love Dukes of Hazzard, and it had the fucking General Lee on it, which means my parents got me a Confederate flag cake.
But it's because you wanted it. That's like how my parents.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's my thing is like, I'll never have kids because I'll never love anyone that much. You know what I mean? That's fucking insane. I don't know what was wrong with me as a kid. Like, I guess I just didn't know at the time, but like,
you was oblivious.
If I was my parents, I'd be like, nah, pick a Smurfs or something. We not doing General Lee in this house. But
I had the big wheel. I had so many die-cast cars, the wind-up car that would do the wheelie. Because you all you see as a kid is just a cool car jumping over shit.
Right. And there's a picture of me somewhere.
Like, were your parents grew up in the South too, right?
No, I know. They knew what it meant.
I don't know why. They just love it. They just love it.
I'm not down in my parents' camp.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. I'm saying that's why I will never have kids, because I don't want something to impair my judgment that much. No one's happiness should be enough to make me buy a Confederate flag for anyone, for any reason ever. That's the power of love and of having kids, and I don't think that's too much. So there's a picture of me somewhere with cowboy boots on and a cowboy hat.
I think I seen that picture.
Standing over a fucking General Lee cake somewhere. I know it is because I remember that day. I remember that birthday. I'll never forget it.
I think I seen that picture in a photo album or something like that.
It worked. It made me that happy.
You were
happy to have the General Lee. But
that's all that matters.
In hindsight, you know, I'll never post that picture to Twitter, because in hindsight, that's gonna be the dish you the first time I say some coon shit.
Yeah,
we should have known he was
Rod
a coon.
Morrow. When you cross over, when you go to the dark side, that's gonna be. It started young.
At 6, he was. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that picture in the time that I did blackface as a joke for Twib.
I remember
this week in Blackness.
They're
gonna find. Yeah, it was.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
We had a ball.
They used to have a podcast with Elon James White called This Week in Blackness, and then he made a show called Blacking It Up, and I was like, we should do a promo video. It's funny to just, you know, we just did it on our phones. It was stupid. But me and Karen came up with a few skits, and it was like different ways of being like, this isn't blacking it up, you know, and it was like, you know, like Like it was, I forget all of them, but it was like, you know, like Karen doing Black Power Fist, and then it was like, you know, Karen was smoking a pipe sitting at a desk in a suit, and then one of them was me with Mickey Mouse hands and the blackface being like, is this blacking it up? And I was like, yeah, one day this picture's gonna come back to haunt me, like when Jail Cavan did JB Smooth. But it is what it is. I'm comfortable with it. Cancel me. I'm like David Caesar. Is that his name? Daniel Caesar. Tank. But yeah, apparently this man got sentenced for lying to the U.S. bankruptcy trustee about his replica General Lee, the 1969 Dodge Charger. So they were coming after his stuff. He declared bankruptcy and he pretended that he didn't own this anymore.
Oh, and they was like, "Oh, you do own this."
Yeah. And he got fined $1,000 and 3 years of probation for lying about this. And they said they're gonna consider prison in other cases if people try to conceal assets during bankruptcy.
Yep. You got to everything.
Would you drive the General Lee now if you could afford it? Would you drive it anywhere?
In the museum,
Chris?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't have the desire to do that.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I don't think I could. No,
I just can't have niggas looking at me like,
yeah.
When they see me pulling up. When they see me pulling up in that shit, I can't have niggas looking at me in that motherfucking General Lee, dog.
Pulling up, listening to the Killer Mike album.
When they see you pulling up and all surrounding you is the soldiers doing the Civil War reenactment, rolling up on you. I like your car, dude.
They just go like, yeah, it's gonna be like I had a windows tinted and pulled up. It's gonna be all the wrong people waving at me, all the wrong people flipping me off. Yeah, and then I'll just roll the window down. Like what?
Confusing everybody.
My music gonna be blasting. I'll be playing that one song that I always see on the TikTok and Facebook. That's like, "Cause no weapon formed against me shall prosper," with the bass bumping and shit.
And that the TikTok and Rod Morrow is a coon.
Right. Here's him at 6 with a General Lee cake.
It's gonna be one of the things. I was riding down the road and I seen this and that AI voice.
Yes, yeah.
It's gonna be oh no,
right?
Oh no. That's what's gonna happen to you, baby.
That's exactly what it's gonna be. All right, let's play one more segment of games. Okay, get ready to wrap this up. Let's do some guess the race.
What time is it?
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
All right, guess the race time. We go around the globe, find different articles, and guess the race of the people involved. Today's contestants are, of course, Karen and comedian, actor, podcaster Chris Lamberth, and the chat room plays along, and there are races. August 9th, after being caught stealing bicycle accessories from Walmart, a Florida man reportedly gave police a devastating self-analysis. "I'm not good at shoplifting," said Daniel Kazmar.
Not good at it.
The 53-year-old.
Why is you even in this lane? Why are you here?
The 53-year-old spontaneous admission came yesterday following his arrest for swiping a bicycle pump, a lock, and an inner tube from a Walmart in Largo.
Walmart films everything, honey. The one of the Walmart's nuts. I hate going to that bitch because you feel like you're locked in the doggy kennel, corral. You go in and lock on one side. The only way to go out is through the thing. Everything locks up. You're like, the fuck is this?
Oh, that's because you into a black Walmart.
Yes.
It's not like that on the white side of town.
It is not, because I've been there. Yeah. They is free to roam.
I drive to the Walmart that they have. On the outside, it actually looks like it could be like a barn or a house or something.
Yes.
Like, it's like some super secret white people shit where they made the Walmart look fancy on the outside so that you wouldn't know it's a Walmart from the street.
You would not know it's a Walmart.
And I go up in there and man, it's different. Air conditioning, employees, it's crazy.
It is very different. Like when you, like for real, if you don't know I don't even think it has a fucking Walmart sign. You be like, it's the fucking Walmart.
It's crazy in there. So look, black people, if you live in somewhere black, Be on the lookout for these hidden Walmarts.
Mm-hmm.
The white people not telling us. Okay, this like when they did that college admission scam and no black celebrities got in trouble because they don't tell black people about the scam.
Right.
They not telling us about the white Walmarts. That's why we all think they fucked up and ghetto and we go to Target, because the secret Walmarts is hidden.
Yeah,
and the prices were still Walmart prices. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I said,
Walmart.
okay, I get this shit. I'm gonna go in here and the motherfucking Pringles gonna be $12 because this some Trader Joe's bullshit. Nope, it was Walmart in there. Just letting y'all know. Secret Walmart.
I never heard of that.
Put y'all on to something.
Yeah, first time I went, I was like, "This is a Walmart." They was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, word."
Right. Like I knew something was up because when I walked into the Walmart, the door chime went off. You know I'm here.
They had that blue that I forgot, it was like some wooden shit. Like I was like, the fuck is this?
But police say Kazmar parked his bike, which had a flat tire, inside the Walmart before entering the store and then stashing his $36 worth of stuff under his shirt. I was gonna say, because it sounded really specific what he stole.
Yes.
So he's trying to fix his bike. Store security told the police. The cops initially contacted him. He said, "I'm not good at shoplifting." And his rap sheet includes 2 prior theft convictions, which does make it seem like he's not good at shoplifting.
I think you might want to retire.
He's locked up on $2,000 bond for stealing $30 worth of stuff. Last month, he was arrested for stealing $20.78 worth of multiple drinks and sandwiches from a Walmart in St. Petersburg. At the time of his arrest, he was also charged with possession of fentanyl and drug paraphernalia. Guess the race of Mr. Kazmar.
Oh, white, and this sounds like somebody that need assistance. I mean,
the
amounts you stealing are like so tiny. And you're like, oh, we need to get you in the system so they can help you, baby.
Okay. Chris?
I'm going to say white.
All right, let's check the chat room. Yeah. Folding chair justice recipient, white.
Oh, no.
The Folding Chair Justice League is a cartoon I would love to watch.
Oh, my God.
White, using a rubric to assess his performance, white. All right, I don't know what a rubric is, but sure. That sounds white. White, Florida man, so white. I'm gonna go black to be contrary. All right, the correct answer is he was white. That's him. And of course, one person did say black, so I got to give you the booze, June. Doesn't pay to be contrary, just to be contrary all the time. But yeah, that's him. And he does look like he's down bad. You know?
And like I say, you stealing like $20 and your fine is $2,000. Like make that make sense.
Fentanyl's involved. Not good.
Right. Sound like something is off there. You ain't going for no big money.
Let's go to another one. How about this one? A vegan raw food diet influencer dies of starvation. Right. Now there are no bonus points for being first, but
I'm with you, Chris. White.
Oh my God. All right. You know what? Oh, okay, let me finish reading.
Gotta be a free space.
She died of starvation after subsisting exclusively on a diet of exotic fruit in Malaysia. She was 39. She frequently promoted raw foods on social media, where she was known to her millions of followers on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram as Zana the Art. She reportedly died July 21st after finally seeking medical treatment during a tour of Southeast Asia.
Which means her body had been letting her know for a while that something was wrong, like you missing nutrition and shit like that. Because that's the thing, you can be vegan, all this shit, but you have to get, substitutes from other things, be it supplements, be it powders or something.
People really will die for the gram, though, because I've also seen the opposite of this, where like a motherfucker is like, I'm gonna eat 12 cheeseburgers every day. And it's like, you just gonna die for the gram? What?
Yeah,
What is TikTok helping you do, bro? We know you're going to get a heart attack. But yeah, a few months ago in Sri Lanka, she already looked exhausted with swollen legs, oozing lymph. What is lymph?
I don't know. Swollen legs.
They sent her home to seek treatment. However, she ran away. And when I saw her at PHUKET, fuck it, I was horrified. I live one floor above her. Every day I feared finding her lifeless body in the morning. I convinced her to seek treatment. She didn't make it.
Yeah, like for this to happen, your body gives you signs way before you get to this point that something ain't right.
Her official cause of death wasn't declared, but her mom attributed it to cholera-like infection.
Oh, they said it's called Fouquet. F-O-O.
Okay.
Yeah.
A proponent of uncooked herbivorous fare, because the Kasan native claims she ate completely raw vegan diet for the last 4 years, consuming just fruits, sunflower seed sprouts, fruit smoothies, and juices.
That's it. I mean,
yeah, that's what she did.
Wow.
Meanwhile, a friend claimed that for the last 7 years, Samsonova had only eaten the giant sweet jackfruit and durian, a spiky mace-like fruit known for its custardy meat and noxious odor.
And the thing is, I'm pretty sure you can eat like that, but I'm pretty sure there's other things that you have to eat to kind of supplement the things that your body isn't getting from things like protein and things like that.
Well, this is also why I really respect the Liver King, because he faked it. Like, he be like, I'm eating liver with my family and I got fucking 6-pack abs. And then as soon as the camera off, he like, order me, let me get 2 large extra anchovies. He's like, I'm on Chipotle right now. What y'all want? Oh, we done. Okay, cool. He was faking it, and I respect that, because he might be a piece of shit, but at least he's alive.
Right.
She died trying to live her raps.
And then went go seek treatment.
Yeah. She said her raw food regimen was reportedly inspired by her peers who looked a lot older than their ages, which she attributed to their junk food diets. Not her talking shit. I know they partied when she died.
That was like, that bitch act like she better than us.
Right. Y'all old. Y'all look old. Y'all old. Y'all eating that junk food. I eat this fucking jackfruit. That's why I look so good. I'm dead. But yeah, also like a lot of this shit where they say they eat raw food because that's what people did back in the day. It's always weird, non-scientific mumbo jumbo, because also back in the day, everybody died at 26.
Yes, they did. 15 was middle age. The fuck we talking about here?
You were an old maid if you were like 17 and you ain't have a man and some kids.
Yes, sir.
So like, I actually don't want to live like the colonials, motherfucker. I'm trying
I like things like electricity.
Right. They're like, I only eat raw foods and shit. And I'm like, okay, good for you, Job.
I like things like vaccines.
But
whoa.
Controversy.
Here we go with that bullshit. All right, that's the race.
Oh, white.
Okay, Chris.
Also white.
Dick in the white. All right. Let's see what the chat room believes the race of Miss Samsonova is.
Right. If they would have said her diet consisted of fat bat meat, chitlins, and fried chicken, we'd have had a whole nother story here.
Okay. All right. I know her fart smell bad. White.
Oh no.
She told Apple Care. She was told by Apple Care. White is the TikTok AI voice. Ha, that is a white voice. Secret Walmart VIP white, got money to tour the world and still starved to death. So white. White girl interrupted. The correct answer is white. You know Samsonova.
White girl interrupted. Come on, Terry.
This is her flexing, holding a bunch of
she doesn't look that
exotic fruits.
Look healthy. Like,
yeah, it looks bad. Looks real bad.
Like, it's nothing wrong with being small, but even even you still need to look healthy.
Yeah, to me, this is also another example of like how like social media support isn't real, because her friends and family that were in her life was like, this is not healthy and you need help. And I guarantee if you went to her places where she was influential on social media, it was mostly people being like, yeah, raw vegan food. Yes, go queen. That's why you look so much younger than all your peers and all this shit. And it's like, no, she's suffering from violent mental illness that is going to drive her to harm herself slowly with this shit. Also, none of this shit looks delicious. I'm sorry to y'all raw vegans out there. Please don't be upset with me. But nothing in these pictures of her with these fruits make me be like, God damn, I got to have it.
I know Maya used to do that, the R&B singer. I don't know what she was on some vegan shit. I mean, she probably still is vegan, but I'm sure she eats supplements.
It's different than this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Also, raw vegan is different than just vegan.
Yes, it is.
It's like a more extreme version of vegan. I'm not saying it can't be good, but these, like, we went to a raw vegan restaurant and I'm like, all y'all did was just chop the food up different. You can't trick me.
Right.
My taste buds still know that this is not fucking pasta. You can shred the squash and the pasta all you want, but you're not tricking me. Also, everything is fucking cold. So don't call it lasagna if you're going to bring it to my fucking table and it's just cold fucking fruit cut into lasagna shapes. You motherfuckers.
Was it good?
No,
it's
terrible. And I was planning on ordering the burger I was gonna eat on my way home during the fucking meal, during the overpriced meal.
Oh, we were so
your Five Guys.
Yeah, honest to God, I was like, I want to eat a triple from Wendy's. It was sad. I don't even think I fucking finished that burger. I just needed to know a cow had died for the grievance that was done to me.
Yeah, you know? and the thing is, what was so terrible about that place was they don't introduce people. They don't actually have you been here before. I mean, we went there. All the water was on the table with no ice.
Yeah,
lukewarm.
In New York they do that a lot, but we down here in the 90-degree South, nigga,
right?
We put ice in our drinks.
Right,
they're not too good for that.
The fuck is this?
And I was like, y'all don't have any ice, and he was like, no, we don't have any ice. I said, nah, how the fuck is the food cold then? Because they don't make y'all have ice somewhere in this building. Fuck this place.
Damn.
All right. Y'all are 2 for 2, which means it's time to go to the bonus round.
That's the best was why I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get
Gold teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey ate baboon, big time, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
Oh, and before we go on, that motherfucking place was rated high too. Because that's the reason why me and Roger went to it, because it was rated high.
I don't remember,
if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember why we went. I just remember, I think it was just like we were on Yelp and it was like, hey, this is a different type of place to eat. I said, I'll try it.
Right.
And then, of course, all the vegans and raw vegans got mad and wrote into our show because we didn't like it. And I'm like, I tried it. I did my part. And then shout out to the real ones that was like, as a raw vegan, let me tell you, that is some bullshit that they just kind of threw it on you and didn't describe the food.
Correct.
And everything on the fucking menu was described like normal good food. And when you order it, it's not that. That's fucked up. I'm sorry, but if you know,
that's a bait and switch.
If you came to my fucking house and I said, Chris, I'm gonna cook for you tonight, and you said, what are you gonna make? And I said, I'm gonna make lasagna. I'm gonna make vegan lasagna. And you'd be like, okay, cool. Well, you expecting like hot stuff, cheese, something, whatever. Some sort of, you know what lasagna tastes and feels like in your mouth. And then I put some cold vegetables on your plate. You deserve to be mad at me. Mm-hmm. That's okay. Anyway. Let's get to this article, guys. All right, last one for both of y'all.
It's a black elementary school.
Oh wait, fuck this lady. They already fucked it up in the news. All right, we'll skip this article.
She came out of black elementary school.
Black.
Yeah. Like, what would you?
Yeah, you guys won black.
Free space.
Let's go to the next one. A Miami couple is arrested following a road rage incident. A woman is facing an attempted murder charge, and her husband faces a charge of battery following a road rage incident early Saturday morning. A couple from Miami was in a Ford pickup truck involved in a crash with a Chevrolet pickup truck around 12:25 a.m. Authorities said the driver of the Ford, 59-year-old Mario Barbado Pichardo, instigated a physical fight with the driver of the Chevrolet pickup truck, a 38-year-old male from Marathon. Pichardo's wife, who deputies identified as 54-year-old Damaris Pichardo, retrieved a 380 caliber gun and called 911. Well, make up your mind. Apparently, she threatened to kill the male victim. Deputy said the victim reported hearing the handgun click trigger multiple times, being pulled multiple times, but the weapon never fired. And then Damaris asked, communication special also heard Damaris ask why the gun was not loaded or firing. Linhart said after further investigation, the handgun had a loaded magazine. However, a round was not chambered at the time of the incident, so there were no life-threatening injuries reported. Mario Pichardo and Damaris Pichardo were both taken to jail. Mario Pichardo's arrest photo shows him with multiple cuts and bruises around his eye. So not only did y'all incite the incident, but it sounded like he got his ass whooped. Or maybe he got hurt in the crash. But they don't. Yeah, that's it. All right, so guess the race of Damaris Pichardo and Mario Pichardo.
Damaris Pichardo.
Damaris. Yeah, Damarys. Damaris.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with my first instinct, and I'm gonna go. These are some niggas.
Okay, Karen saying niggas.
I'm gonna go with Latinx Hispanic.
Okay, let's check the chat room, see what they believe. All the names in with O, Hispanico, Italian, white, Dominican. These are white-looking Latinos, white, adjacent, Hispanic, Italian. First of all, okay, you can't have all those. Pick one. Pick a struggle. Oh, they was black, white, Hispanic, Italians. Mob mistress, white, Dominican, white. The correct answer is, and both of you went. What'd you say? You said Hispanic, and so did Chris.
No, I said white.
Oh, Claire said black.
I said black, and he
said Hispanic,
and I'm probably wrong.
Both of y'all missed it.
Oh shit!
They're white.
White passing. That's what some of these women do on the apps. They say. Oh, yeah, like sometimes I got my stuff. I like black and Latina women, and then you see women come up and they're like, "You look white."
Right.
You think that they're like, what's Alec Baldwin's wife? Ilaria. A little Ilaria.
Ilaria. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they went, okay. Yeah, I was wrong.
He's a white. Yeah.
Yeah, white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undeniable. Some people did get it.
That was a hard one. That's like probably the hardest one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Pichardo could have went a lot of ways.
I know. Right. And Damaris, right. A white woman. All right.
Damaris throwing me off.
And I guess I'll move that other story about the black teacher and the fucking with black people because clearly it's coming out of. I didn't realize the article was just gonna fucking tell everybody. All right,
the black elementary school. Like,
right?
Damn it.
Sword ratchetness. All right, sword ratchetness. You know what that means? We go around the globe, find different articles about these motherfucking swords, and we talks about them to warn the world of the danger we're in. Samurai sword seized after car stopped by police knife team in Mansfield.
Oh shit!
5 arrests were made in Nottinghamshire Nottinghamshire police as part of 3 separate incidents. Members of the Forces County Knife Crime Team were out on patrol in Mansfield when they spotted a car intelligence suggested could be involved in criminal activity. After pulling the car over around 2:35 p.m. on a Saturday, the vehicle was searched. They found a samurai sword underneath one of the seats. It's weird hearing a country that takes this seriously and has a knife crime team to get people off the streets with these swords and knives. I love it.
Yeah.
The 3 occupants of the car were 39, 19, and 18, all men. They were arrested on suspicion of possession of an offensive weapon in public. Officers were also called to the Bolwell bus station that evening around 8:55 p.m. because someone was seen carrying a knife. The suspect tried to run from police, but was caught following a short foot pursuit. A search was carried out of the nearby area, which led to a machete being recovered and the arrest of a 14-year-old boy on possession of a knife in public. And a 21-year-old man was arrested after a zombie knife was also recovered from a house.
A zombie knife?
Yeah, what's a zombie knife?
Joel didn't even have one of those.
Yeah,
he just had a shiv. God damn.
I'm looking up this. Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm looking up zombie knife to show y'all pictures now. Honestly, we need this for The Last of Us Part 3.
Yeah. Ooh.
Listen, Abby find this bitch and like half the game, it's over.
It's over.
Wow.
It's over for y'all.
That's
zombies.
Not a knife. This is a knife.
I'll fucking click her up, boy.
Man.
Oh man. But yeah. That's we got some. The knife crime team is doing good work over there.
I got a whole team. They were like, "Your job is knives."
Love to see. Chris Lamberth. Before we get out of here, we need you to tell people where they can find you and about your upcoming. Remind everybody about your upcoming stand-up too.
Sure. You can find me at Chris Lamberth on Twitter and Instagram. I have a podcast called The Mundane Festival. The Devil Sode is up, episode 666. You can find me this weekend at the Kenosha Comedy Club in Kenosha, Wisconsin, this Friday and Saturday. And in October 20th and 21st, I'll be at the Boca Black Box Theater in Boca Raton, Florida. And I'm going to be competing against a living legend, Tim Meadows from SNL. I think he's doing some shows in the main room, and I'm doing some shows in the black box. So, I mean, they're putting these black comedians in competition with each other. So, but maybe
the black people who are heckling you and let down will go into the next room with Tim Meadows and see if he can satisfy him.
That's right. That's true. So either way, it'll be good. And pray for me, Florida. Well, Kenosha too. After that Applebee's incident,
I know. Be safe. You can find us, of course, here, but don't forget live show September 9th, 3 p.m. at the Night Theater. You can get your tickets in the show link in the show notes. And we'll go through like some logistical stuff because it's actually in the same theater we saw Kev on stage at last night, which is a little bit different. It's like up the street from the one that we went to.
Right.
And we'll give y'all like a blow by blow breakdown of like what to do and parking and all that stuff on an episode coming up soon. But don't forget, you can get virtual tickets. They're only $20. We are selling tickets. Like it's really dope. Going to the Night Theater, we saw some fans of Kev on stage that were fans of us too.
Yes.
And they were like, and I'm coming back to see y'all. And I was so excited because, it's a big ass theater. And I was just looking like, I know Kev on stage can fill this bitch up, but I'm not sure that's on the menu for us. But I do think, I don't know, it warmed my heart to know people are going to come out and we're going to have a good ass time.
We are.
So make sure y'all get those tickets. It helps us out tremendously, especially if you buy your tickets early. And if you can't make it in person, but you do want to buy in-person tickets just to support, do that. And just remember that they'll send you a PDF file like a week out from the event. Email that to me. And if there's local people that just want to come, I'll shoot out social media posts. And though I'll give them those tickets. We've done it before in the past, and I'm glad that we had people show up to do it. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for listening. We'll be back soon. Chris, it's always lovely to have you on, man.
Chris.
Thanks for having me.
It's really it's such a wild coincidence that I literally was like, the day you hit me up, I was thinking, I think I was listening to Monday Festival being like, we need to have Chris back on. It's been too long. And people that are my friends in real life, I always fucking forget I can just have them on the show.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's like, I want to talk to Chris. I'll call him, I'll text him, and then I'm like, yeah, but also Chris is a professional comedian, and we have a platform to help with that. So I'm glad you came on, man, and it won't be that long next time.
Oh, sure. Thanks for having me. I always see like my other comedian friends come on, and they promote. I say, you guys just come on when you want to promote shit. I'll come on just because I want to come on. But I said, but now let's try to get some tickets sold.
Yeah, buy these tickets though.
Either way,
it's not a game.
Either way, that's fine with us. We want y'all to make money too.
Right. All right, y'all. That's it. We'll be back throughout the week. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Bye, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thanks, chat room.
Anytime, dude.
Peace.
Anytime.